Welcome everyone to the stream. Today we're gonna continue my own automation for GitHub, just for leak detection. I guess on this stream I will try to add some more places where some credentials could get leaked. I'm thinking about paste websites. To be honest, I do not really know much about those, if those could be truly automated or not, but I will try to do some research on the stream itself. And before that, just to keep the stream more interesting, at the beginning I will probably also check some current bug bounty drama per se. I really like to review what's actually happening inside the community, especially for bug bounties. So there was a lot of talks of DEF CON, but some of those I have viewed myself and shared on the X as well. Not all of them I have reviewed, but I will probably share those talks who I find interesting myself. But one of them were actually really caught my attention. It was by Jason Haddix. He's really known in the infosec industry. He's like over a decade when he's already present, and he talked about the darker side of bug bounty. So I guess it's kind of clickbaity, kind of interesting talk. At the beginning I haven't expected to learn anything new. I thought, I experienced myself some shady things by the companies, and that do happen. This is just inevitable if you are staying for longer and not hunting only on one program. So many things do happen, and I listened to this talk and I found out that what I was experiencing was not, it was just a tip of the iceberg. Actually, way more shady stuff is happening. So for example, I just experienced some programs like downgrading reports, marking as not applicable, trying to do certain tactics that say that we already know about this vulnerability without providing proof, and as well like platform fault with agreeing with the customer all the time. So those are just things that many of the researchers do usually get. But if you take a look into the talk itself, it's actually about way more stuff. If I just skim through, you can view it yourself if you haven't watched it yet. So he talked about all the parts, mostly about the industry, but mostly he haven't talked about the researchers themselves, but because I think this talk is more geared towards them. So he basically thought about AI. So interesting thing about this talk, he mentioned that many platforms, many biggest platforms on like HackerOne, Buckrout, Integrity, he haven't specifically mentioned which one of those, but they said that they're actually using AI and monitoring top 200 or even more best researchers, and like comparing that traffic and then providing services, like abusing those researchers, all their effort without even awarding them. So this is kind of crazy. I haven't knew about this, but this is actually happening, and yeah, it's kind of shady. I gotta say. So yeah, no payment to hunters, and we are like building intel feeds. This is kind of bad things. I hope that this might change in the future. So also he was talking about cloud web application firewalls, how they usually collect the data, also that they do monitor many researchers as well. Like when you include the special header like h1 username blah blah blah, they usually monitor the traffic and also build AI because of that, and then they sell the product. and they are sharing data with each of other, so that's also not really good thing. And they, like, this one, I kinda knew about this, but I was not really thinking that this is really happening. So like watching our streams, GitHub's talks and chats, like what they actually doing this type of research. So yeah, this was also pretty new thing. What else? Oh, about budgeting. This one I kinda understand because I was at that part of that side of bug bounties as well. Personally, I was a treasure, so I know that certain programs have the certain budget allocated for bug bounties, and usually by mistake they might, you know, end up having less budget than expected, and researchers might find way more bugs than expected, and instead of paying, because they have a limit, as far as you know, instead of paying, we will try to find the excuses. So during this talk he mentioned all of that, and I experienced all of that myself from the bug hunter's perspective as well. So yeah, that was kind of bummer. And this, I think, mostly mistakes like this happens on the public programs. On private ones, well, I was running private program as a treasure, so for us it was easier to manage the budget because we can like select certain people who we want them to participate in our program. So it was way easier to manage the bug bounty budget. So yeah. Yo, thank you for joining, everyone. Hey chat, just let me know what time is it where you are currently watching the stream, what country you are from. I would like to know. Is it night, is it day? So yeah. So yeah, about the budget, this is kind of thing that you should expect, that companies tend to have budget. And he also mentioned the tactics to find the excuses for the programs to pay less. So by the grouping, for instance, by the grouping similar vulnerabilities and just marking them as one issue. So, but what I really liked about this, about each of that case, he also mentioned the tips for bug hunters. So I guess that was, yeah, about budget exhaustion. He actually, at the end of this presentation, he mentioned some tips that you can do to avoid this. So this is really interesting talk. If you haven't seen, I highly recommend to check it, because you will understand behind the scenes what's actually happening. And even me, I found a lot of useful stuff as well. Even though I kind of, you know, I'm been doing bug bounties for 1+ years, like 1.5 maybe. So I'm kind of experienced. I do this full time. So, well, yeah, for me, it's really hard to surprise right now. But if you're just starting out, you might experience some really bad things. By just watching this, you will understand like why it's happening, like what is the main reasons for that. All right, for some it's morning, for some it's night. I'll see. Many people from many different areas. So yeah, I actually wanted to just point this out because this is really interesting. But apart from that, I guess on this stream, my plan is to just continue building GitHub automation. I have a special directory created on the previous stream. I have like a couple of domains that I was just testing, is PayPal and FizGlobal, and I have certain keywords. So like access key, secret key, those keywords I will do like Google dorking by this script. So for those domains, plus for each of domain, it will search for a certain keyword, and inside the script it will also try to check for certain patterns. So let me open the script itself. There's also a requirement file where I store all the Python library requirements, and leak detect is basically big chunky file where I install all the results, and if the new result will come up, then that new result will be either displayed on the screen or just sent to the Discord server where I will be monitoring that. So I haven't yet set up the Discord notifications, but I might try that as well. So firstly, just open a leak detect. I will just open in this specific directory. As you can see, there is also a .github token file. I just store GitHub token right here, just because this script do actually use the API, GitHub search API, and then I will also use as like this type of raw GitHub user content without API. So if I'm using this in parallel, I'm not getting rate limited, but there are certain API limits for just using search API. So if we quickly can get through all the what we already have, like this one, this function will load GitHub token from this file. I have function for handle rate limit. Basically, if I get this header, which is specifically used in the GitHub, then I will try to sleep, because this header in the response will also show how many seconds left till I can send another request to the API. So this particular function will handle that. And then this is like a main function, which will use GitHub API. So I have following query. This is a keyword plus domain. So the keyword will be, as I shown you, from the keywords file. And there is domain. So I will just use domains and keywords right here. Just don't private this stream. Okay, yeah, I've everything will be available even after Twitch period, when like for Twitch the streams will be available for a couple of weeks, but you will still can find everything on YouTube. Is leaks automation really legit? It really depends, like where the leaks are coming from. The thing about leaking credentials, for instance, if it's coming from, I don't know, darknet or something like that, where or like hackers forum, it's kind of shady area, because if you, especially if you are funding the criminal activity, it's against the terms of service of many platforms. And even though you might be helping the company to prevent some more serious stuff, but if you are like purchasing the leak itself, well, you can get banned on the platform. So just have that in mind, because there are certain policies by like HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Integrity. For sure, I know there are guidelines both for security researchers and for the programs. So usually they don't recommend getting leak information from those places, but if you find leaked credentials on GitHub, on for instance on some third-party services where leaks could happen accidentally, like Docker Hub, let me think more places, for instance URL scan, virus total, like most of those sites that could be fetched via VMware tool. So those are usually okay. But if it's, as I said, like if it's coming from shady place, yeah, that could get your account suspended. All right. So just to continue, what I already built, GitHub search. So, and also one thing I remember, some programs, even though you report the leaked credentials, even though if they're from GitHub, some programs will actually have inter policy that they won't accept any leaks, because you have to understand from their perspective as well. If they do manage really large organization where there are hundreds of thousands employees, it's really hard to manage that, and they could expect a lot of leaks happening every day. So sometimes, just to avoid spending over the budget for bug bounty, they will specify this in policy just as an excuse. So yeah, it's still like, but that's only for a limited amount of programs. So yeah, this will query the GitHub search. If I quickly show you the GitHub itself, so for instance, if I show you like PayPal plus like keyword access key, this will do the search like this, and it will get all the results, and they will specifically check the code section, and they will, like, this script will try to fetch all the links where those codes appear, and they will also check every page, because as you can see right here, there is like page 2, there is page 5. On the web version there are max 5 pages, but if you use GitHub API there are 10 pages. So to my calculations, you can also on API you can specify how many results per page you can get. So max results are 100 and max pages are 10. So in total you can access top 1000 code results just by using API. So since PayPal is really big company, that's why there are so many results, but in the most cases, 99% of cases, there won't be that many code results. So just having this limitation, well, for the most part, it will cover everything. All right, so yeah, this is basically querying that just by using headers. It's also going through pages. I also specified that 10 pages could be used, and per page, like 100 results per page. I also do time sleep after each of the requests. I sleep, like, I tend to pause the script for 6 seconds, just, you know, just to be a little bit gentler on the API itself. But in case if I, instead of using one GitHub token, if I consider using like 3 tokens, this could be even removed basically. I also have like handle rate limit function as we saw before, so it will just wait if I'm like, if the API won't respond, and then I will just get the data, like all of those links, and for each of that link I will try check for like try to go to that specific link by using other I will show which one, but basically check for leaks. So I will go through each of that file and try to check those patterns. I used only those patterns, they were just recommended by ChatGPT. I have actually removed a couple of them because what I really like to get as less false positives as possible. But as you can see, there are certain keywords that might resemble some leaks. For instance, Google Cloud API key, blah, blah, blah. This one, GitHub token, a lot of things like that. I guess for this time it will be more than enough. Also, about those keywords, I might add way more keywords like passwd, password, stuff like that. I could add, but right now I just want to have less of them, because if I will add like every potential keyword for dorking, as I know, the script will run very, very long. So I don't want that yet, because I'm just testing out like basic functionality. Yeah, I mentioned in the last stream, I said like I'm not yet ready to publish this particular script, because I don't think it's finally ready. And I'm also creating, I'm just want to showcase how you can manually create your own set of code, and I highly recommend for everyone to try to create your own automation. Just don't use automation but it's already present, because you will get duplicates for sure. So the goal of this stream is just to showcase how you can build, like how you can think of, without even having a lot of developer skills, how you can build some automation by the help of AI for sure. So, and other thing about like publishing code, as I said, like I'm not really good developer. It's not the best. If it start not working on your particular machine, on your computer, I don't want to get flooded with some weird DMs, people just asking me, oh, sir, can you help me? It's not running on my side. I don't want to be IT support guy, so that's why I'm not yet releasing the script. So yeah, so this will check for those patterns. There will be leaks array, and then it will try to append if some of those patterns are found. And this one in particular, try from all of those lines, all of those results that were gathered there, this one will try to fetch raw content, as I said, like using this particular link. So if I show you, for example, if I open at least one of that file, for some weird reason it's running really slow. Oh, just because I think I'm using VPN and streaming to two locations, that's why it's taking a little bit longer. But if you just click on raw, so all what you will get as the raw data is just the code and nothing else, like no side menu, no any menu. This is just the raw data. So it will try to fetch that, and inside here it will try to search for patterns, basically. Bro, how to read these codes? Well, I'm not here to teach the programming actually, but what you can do, you can just, copy the chunks of the code and then try to paste into any of AI, like ChatGPT, for example, and ask it to explain it for you if you don't understand yourself. I do this sometimes when I'm reading some programming languages that I'm not really familiar with. Like once you know a little bit about programming, like core principles, even with different programming languages, you will understand most of the stuff. But if it's like really dark forest for you, I just recommend just like copy this and just paste like this, and just ask it for some explanation. So yeah, continuing on. So yeah, process item. I also have some interesting things, like I have a certain terminal functionality. For example, the green type of coloring will tell that some leaks were found. Of course, those could be some false positives. Yeah, my too, ChatGPT for sure. Like especially if you're not necessarily if you are developing something, but even though if you're like writing some reports or trying to figure out certain regex functions or some type of encryption or some type of bypasses, it could help you. Like some basic stuff, it could do really well. I especially like using it for certain regex while I'm using command line as well. So yeah, this search and detect is actually the main function, and I also use multi-threading. So I use threads for those different files. For instance, it will take, like, if by default it will be 10 threads, so each of the thread will get similar amount of URLs to process, and everything will be processed in parallel. So this was where I actually use threads, and I have command line. Oh no, by default it is 5 threads, but I could switch the default by just using threads. And yeah, that's basically it. This is just for the GitHub itself. So my idea is to expand some leak detection also for other providers, not only for GitHub. So probably maybe for pastes, like pastebin.com probably, or maybe it will be way easier if I try to search for certain tokens or certain keys leaked via URLs while using I will just check for Waymore tool. If you don't know what's Waymore, it's the tool made for written and also in Python, and it's mainly the main use case is just for gather URLs, and then you can basically fuzz everything. I'm looking for repositories. Yeah, this guy, he's really good programmer. He's written so many really good bug bounty tools, so you can check his other repositories of his. But what I will check is the main file, and inside the main file there are 5 providers where you can actually use. So for instance, VirusTotal will require API key. I might need to store that as well in the file, in other file probably. Let's maybe start with URL scan. Let's try to find, maybe just copy this one, URL scan, search. Let's try Q, and instead of domain, let's use paypal.com and the max size. Okay, so we can see many results, and inside of those results there might be certain URLs, and in those URLs we might spot some leaks. So this is the general idea that I'm trying to achieve. Okay, some of those might not be paypal.com, so the URL has to match the domain at least. Okay, so I could try to ask ChatGPT. For the current chat that I used for developing the script, I could also try to chat even more with it. Update the script to also include let's use like this domain, fetch some URLs and look into those URLs if they do contain leaky patterns. All right, they also should match the domain specified. This is really important sentence as well. All right. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because from time to time I have to wait, for example, for AI, for script to finish. So we can spend that time, you know, just for getting to know each other. Maybe if you have some general thoughts about cybersecurity and stuff like that, just, you know, DM me. Not DM me, but just write it to the chat. Not every request, only for those who are using who are just using GitHub search API, because there are certain limitations for GitHub search API. If I just show you API limits, so they have REST API, and for this REST API, so per hour you can send this many requests. Let's do I think in 1 minute there is certain limit. I forgot the exact limits, but just in regards for those, I just checked the documentation, also asked ChatGPT. Sometimes ChatGPT won't be really accurate because some of the data what AI model was trained was outdated. So sometimes you do need to verify on the documentation, because documentation tend to change. So there are certain, you know, this is authenticated user, so yeah, I think there is limit per hour and there is limit per 1 minute. So let's try to find. Okay. There are certain limits, but I'm not sure. Well, but you get the idea. There are some, even it's not like specified here exactly, but I'm pretty sure maybe, yeah, 10 requests per minute or something like that. That's why I'm using 6 seconds to sleep between each of the requests. But this could be bypassed if you use multiple GitHub tokens. I don't want to use that on the stream. You probably get why, you know. I'm just testing the script. All right, so let's check the AI. It's still generating. Let's continue generating. Okay. Search GitHub. Yeah, I guess this is fetch URLs from URL scan. Is it not loading? What's happening? Should I restart this? Come on, what the hell? What the hell is happening? I guess my script is getting chunky, that's why it's going crazy. Let's maybe see side by side. It will be way better. See what was important and what was not. Handle rate limit. This I guess will work. Search GitHub. Fetch URLs from URL scan. This was after. So this will get URLs from GitHub and this will get URLs from URL scan. Those leaks. Guess everything here the same. Okay. Fetch URL, process item. Let's see if something new is... No, it's same here. Process URL. Okay, this was from URL scan. So let's use this one right here. Load domains, search and detect. Okay, this one was here for some weird reason. Not sure. Which degree you have? I have a computer science degree actually. Mainly I've studied in like software systems or something like that. Initially I thought to be developer, but then I just transitioned to be into the cybersecurity, and from cybersecurity to bug bounties. Alright, this in I should try to copy this one because there are way more stuff right here. Try to do spaces. Okay, args. Wow. ChatGPT is losing its mind because it's way more lines than expected. But I guess everything here is the same, probably. Whoa, it's getting crazy. Okay, have you got any bounties from this? From the leak detection, well, I found a couple of leaks manually, so I got a couple of bounties from that for sure, but you have to you have to do a lot of recon for that, like crazy person. Like you have to spend not like couple of hours, you have to spend days, like even weeks, trying to find leak credentials, and do only that and a lot of long periods of time, and then yeah, you might get some chance for that. So just by doing deep recon, but don't expect to find some interesting stuff just, you know, spending a couple of hours. It takes long time, but eventually it could pay off for sure. Which certifications you have? I have OSCP, I have a couple of Pentester Lab certifications. Like when I was beginner, I was just, you know, playing a lot of CTF, doing some challenges, but then I did also SCP while I was working mainly. Are you a hobbyist? What does that mean? I don't know what that word means actually even. Just wondering, is this more of passion or hobby or what? No, I'm actually living out of bug bounties. This is like my main type of income, but I consider doing content like on YouTube or streaming. This I would consider my hobby because I'm just, you know, want to show a couple of things with community, like sharing a couple of things with community. This I might consider the hobby, but bug bounties is hard work. So if you like, it depends what you're referring to. How do I talk to you personally? I need some help. Well, a lot of people do need a lot of help. I'm not really the right guy who can help you probably. Well, you have to understand, I'm like, usually I'm really busy person. I have a lot of things to do, and I collab with a long list of people, and my schedule is really limited. I have some paid collaborations if you want, but it's not cheap. It's not really cheap. So just check the memberships. It's kind of big, because like you have to understand why I should spend my time try to like help each of the beginner when I can like spend my time in some better ways, like creating videos that could make impact for hundreds or thousands of people instead of like babysitting by one, you know. It's way better just to, you know, help for way more people at once. At least it should make sense. Okay. Do you have to really like work? What do you mean by that? I don't consider this as work. I don't consider doing bug bounties as like full-time work, because the thing about this, it's more like it's not real. I don't want to feel it like it's full-time, like a hack from this time to this time. Of course, I have some dependencies when I'm collaborating with people. I usually do have to schedule the calls, try to talk with them, you know, what we found, what we collab on, like decide which part of our collaboration what person will do. Of course, I feel responsible for my people that I'm working with, but do I have like time restriction during the day when I work? No, probably not. Sometimes I do take some couple of days or breaks, or even at weekends I tend to, you know, go somewhere out. So yeah, this is like how it goes for me. I know there are way different people how they usually do bug bounties. Some are really like to micromanage themselves, you know, plan a lot of things ahead, like what we are going to do, like this hour, and they like time tracking. I don't like to do time tracking. This is like, why you want to micromanage yourself? That's crazy. For me, I'm very flexible. I don't want to like my passion feel as like work. All right, so this script will include in search and detect, will include not only GitHub, but will also include URL scan, and with also the output file will be leakdetect.txt if you don't specify it, and if that file do exist and have some lines, if no new lines were added, it will don't show anything. But it's my script right now, it's pretty verbose. If I decide to run it just by using Python 3 leakdetect py, of course I need to specify some those like domains file and keywords file are mandatory, so I have domains, keywords, and I could also specify more threads, so maybe 10 threads. This will run way faster. Alright, while it's running, I can for sure like answer a couple of questions. I know some of people like, instead of DMing me, you can ask anything on the stream. So why you know, want to be it personal? You can, like, I can answer your question and I might help other people as well, you know. All right, temporal failure in name resolution. Is it not working, or my internet speed is? It is on blog about pen. It is on blog about pen test. Can you be more specific? People, when you're asking questions, just be more specific if you can, because sometimes it's hard to understand the full scope. Just be really specific, because if you go abstract, I won't understand what you meant by that. Okay, let's try running the script again, because I will just use less threads. It could be that my API token have expired, or maybe just because I'm using VPN, my network speed could go really slow. Jesus. Okay, let's see. Okay, something bad. Can I access the GitHub itself? Yeah, it's for some weird reason it's really slow. Huh. Let's try using less threads, maybe just one. Okay. Let me quickly check my GitHub token. Okay, I might try some other GitHub token just to see if this is only the fault of that. Okay. Let me kill this process. Let's use with one thread. For some weird reason, I think the VPN, because I used other country except of mine, that's why it's going crazy. Damn it. Let me try to reconnect. No, actually I haven't had any problems using VPN before. Okay, I'm still actually streaming on YouTube, but I ended the stream on Twitch because I think that Twitch cannot really handle my VPN normally. It was like throwing a lot of connection errors. Well, I will try my best on the next stream. On this one, I guess I will just leave it on YouTube anyway, so let's continue on. Right now, let's see. Let's run again and see. All right. Why doesn't Kali Linux do that? I'm not using Kali Linux. I'm using Ubuntu right now, but it shouldn't matter actually. Which platform do you use for bug bounty programs? I mostly use I started with Bugcrowd, but I use HackerOne and Integrity these days mostly HackerOne actually, because I like the high bounties there and like really good companies who are paying those bounties. VPN issue, yeah, probably VSL don't like the VPN on main host. I'm trying to send you the link. Can you check expo.com blog? Expo is I won't even try opening that. Did you check GSmon? I know about that tool, but I'm not doing those type of things actually, so probably that could be also area where I can check, where I could monitor. Okay, you're repeating the same question. Yeah, for some weird reason this is like, even though I have like pretty decent connection. Let's try retracting everything I got before. Maybe there were issues with the script itself, so let's see. Let's see with the PayPal. If this won't work, what I will do, I will try to disable only that part of the code for now, which actually just checks the GitHub itself, and I will just stick, you know, to the URL scan and other stuff. Then later on, maybe on the third stream, I will try assemble all the pieces and see if it works or not. Yeah, I guess this is really the problem with GitHub API, because I actually tried other GitHub token and it's still not working, so it's kind of sucks. So what I will do, I will go back with, you know, only that part which has URLs from the URL scan, and then there is search GitHub. Let's see this one. Search domain, search and detect. Let's maybe just you can go with Google search it below where AI is tested to finding bugs against senior pen tester. You really need to work on the grammar, bro. Bug bounty can do the hunting from the window. Okay. Alright, so let's see. I want to disable comment that part, not maybe that part, the function of using GitHub for now. For some weird reason, since the GitHub is not working at the stream, sometimes technical difficulties do happen, so I will just try disable and just using URL scan. Let's see. So this one will return from URL scan. Okay, cool. It's generating something at least. What's funny about it, Daily Tech? Why are you laughing? Share with us, please. Just because they claim their vuln scanner is good as human doesn't mean it's actually the case. Yeah, actually. The thing about web scanners, they tend to detect most of the stuff, actually. Most of the stuff pretty well, which could be detected with automation, but when it comes to some more in-depth bugs, well, the scanners do miss a lot, especially if the target website is using web application firewall. Well, they will just block that scanner. Bug bounty can do hunting from the window. 100, yes. Okay. So I guess the commented part were only right here. This one, as far as I notice. So I will try to do the same. Where are the domains? Domain and domains. Okay. Okay, before fetching URLs, let's see. Right here. Okay, this is the commented part. And then this will do the search on URL scan. Okay. Let's see right now if it's getting from URL scan IO. Okay, it's at least the verbosity is showing that it's working. Okay, fingers crossed everything will go through. Do you have any courses in Udemy? No, I'm not planning to release any courses right now, at least. Oh, come on. I guess my VPN just fucked up everything on the stream. That's why everything is not really working. God damn it. Should I restart the stream and start over? I'm not sure. Because I already spent 1 hour. And it's kinda silly. I gotta say, this one is kinda silly. Network resolution fucking error. Goddamn VPN. Okay, the lesson learned here. When I start streaming tomorrow, I will probably do another stream tomorrow. I will freaking try without VPN. Yeah, I killed the Twitch live. I thought that will help because I was streaming, you know, on 2 platforms at once, but that was not actually the case. I guess my VPN connection just fucked up everything. The script is not even working, not even getting URL scan IO. So instead of restarting today, I will do another stream tomorrow. My plan was to do streams once every week, but I will do just another stream tomorrow. So see you tomorrow, guys. Hopefully you will we will find a better solution tomorrow. Thank you for everyone who joined, but see you on